Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today in this video I'm going to be talking about the ascendant of Leo. So first of all, to clarify what an ascendant is, because I'm getting this question time and again. So I'd like to clarify what an ascendant is, because people are confused between what a zodiac is and what a Rashi is and what an ascendant is. So if you're being told you are an XYZ zodiac according to Western or tropical astrology, that means that your sun is positioned in that particular zodiac. We have 12 zodiacs, like all of us know. So whichever zodiac your sun is placed in is your zodiac sign according to Western or tropical astrology. So I am talking about Vedic astrology, sidereal astrology. And in Vedic astrology, if you hear the term Rashi, which is your Rashi, that means your moon sign. So whichever zodiac your moon is placed in becomes your moon sign. But the ascendant is the sign, the zodiac that is rising in the east. So let's suppose you're being born here today in this room. So towards the east, at the horizon, because our solar system is surrounded by this zodiac belt. So when you're being born, wherever you're born, towards the east at the horizon is the point where the earth tends to meet the sky. So that particular point, whichever zodiac sign is rising becomes your ascendant sign. So that is how your first house is decided. Which sign will be placed in the first house is decided by which sign is seen at the eastern horizon at the time of your birth. So that becomes your ascendant sign. And so today we're talking about Leo as the first sign, as the ascendant sign. So if Leo is your ascendant sign, the second house will have Virgo, because we go in that order. The third house will have Libra, the fourth house will have Scorpio, and so on and so forth. And the 12th house will have Cancer as the zodiac sign in the 12th house. So that's how an ascendant is decided. And the significance of an ascendant is that the ascendant decides your entire personality. What you appear to the world is what your ascendant is like, and how you feel inside is what your moon sign is, because the moon is the mind. So wherever your moon is placed, that's how you feel inside. But what you appear outwardly, how people see you, how you come across situations in life, is seen from your ascendant. So it's a very important sign. So we're talking about the Leo ascendant today. And so if we talk about the natural zodiac belt, we start with Aries and we finish in Pisces. So the fifth sign is Leo. Leo falls in the natural fifth house. So that's the first thing we'll get from all of this, that the fifth house, all the significations of the fifth house have now come to the first house. So what is the fifth house? The fifth house is your intelligence. The fifth house is creativity. The fifth house is children. The fifth house is all speculations that you do. This fifth house is love and romance. The fifth house is all that. Now all that has come to the first house. All that has become very important for you. So Leo ascendants are naturally intelligent. They are naturally creative. They would naturally, because the fifth house is also speculation, these people would naturally be risk takers. They would be ready to take a risk. If they feel they may gain, somehow they will readily take a risk. And then of course we have love affairs. So the Leo ascendant is naturally the kinds to fall in love and to get into a love marriage. So it's very, very natural for them. They can easily have somebody fall in love with them as well, because these are very, very attractive personalities that we're talking about here. The sign Leo is ruled by the planet Sun, and we know the Sun is the brightest star in the sky, is the brightest planet. If we're talking about astrology, we consider the Sun and the Moon also as planets. So the Sun is the brightest planet in the sky. The Sun lights up the entire sky. So this is a very, very bright, positive, luminous kind of an ascendant that we're talking about. If you're talking about the sign of Leo, so it's the king. We all know that Leos are the kings of the zodiac, and Leo, the significator of Leo is the lion. So, and we know the lion is the king of the jungle. Similarly, a Leo is the king of the zodiacs. Now, how do we practically see this? Well, typically like a king of the jungle, or like a king even otherwise, Leos are, appear to be very calm. They appear very quiet. They appear very stable. They do not get into conflicts quickly. Like if there is a conflict going on around them, they'd rather just stay away. They'd be very calm. They'd keep their opinion to themselves. They do not like to go around interfering everywhere. Like a king would not interfere in any petty matter. So typically like a king, these people are contained to themselves, and if asked their opinion, they will just go give their opinion. It's almost like a verdict they're giving. So they're used to being quiet, keeping to themselves, but when asked to intervene, they're almost like coming and passing a judgment. They'll give their verdict and they'll move out. So they've given the final judgment. So, and their word is usually very important in their social system. So it's like we have the sun in the solar system, and all the planets are revolving around the sun. Similarly, in a circle, if there is a Leo, it's usually them in the center, and the entire circle is, focused around this person. This person enjoys being in the limelight like a king, like royalty. This person enjoys the limelight. This person enjoys importance. This person wants importance. He wants to feel important, even though he's very quiet or she's very quiet. But in his social circle, yes, he will be talkative. He will be communicative. We'll come down to that later on. Why will he be talkative and communicative? But generally, if you do not know this person well, he will appear calm, composed, like royalty. He'll have this demeanor about him or her. He will or she will carry herself in such a way that she will appear like royalty. And of course, like royalty, they like dressing up well. They love brands. It's difficult if you have a Leo kid. I have a Leo child, so I know what it's like. So these people are so focused on brands. They are so focused on getting the best of everything. So they're not really easy to please. So they want the best of everything. They like to show off. They like to be well known. They want to be the king. They want to be accepted like that. And they do not like criticism. You cannot criticize a Leo and get away with, because see, it's a lion we're talking about. It's the king of the jungle, or a king otherwise. So you cannot criticize a king. You will just hurt their ego. They can be buttered. They can be. You can get anything done from them by buttering, or by pleasing them, or by giving them compliments, and they'll do anything for you. That way, they'll do anything for you. But if you force something down their throat, you simply can't do that. If you hurt their ego, if you push them into doing something, if you think you can do that, then you're definitely wrong, because that's not the way you can deal with a Leo. The only way to get something done from a Leo is with the help of love, is by a little bit of persuasion, is by giving compliments, and to put it simply, is by buttering them. So their friends are people who give them a lot of compliments, who know how to keep them happy, who butter them a bit, and who keep boosting their ego a little bit. So that is a little bit about the Leo. So a Leo is not the kinds, like a lion would rather just stay in its den. A lion only would come out to catch its prey, to hunt and eat, and then it would just go in its den. It doesn't need to show anything, because a king is a king. It's as simple as that. So for him, the Leo person is very confident about himself. Now we are only talking about the ascendant. We're not talking about the planetary placements. Of course, if the sun is afflicted, if the sun is not well placed, then the significations all would be reduced. But just talking about the ascendant, the general qualities are, if the sun is well placed, let's suppose the sun is in Leo. Now this person is very confident of himself or herself, and this person doesn't need to prove anything. So it is just going to come out, do its thing that much, and then go back and be happy in its den. So that's what a Leo is really like. But when it comes out, and the other thing it likes to do is it likes to patronize. It likes to take care of others, because this is, again, like I'm saying, it's the king we're talking about. So kings like to give protection. They like to patronize. They like to provide security to its people. So it likes to take care of others. So it'll reach out to you I mean, if it feels that you need some kind of help, it will reach out. The Leo person is going to reach out to you and try and help you. And if you take that hand of that helping hand, then the Leo is going to give you whatever security is required, whatever guidance, whatever help is required. They're the best of friends. They're the best of friends, believe me. But if you refuse them, they're okay with it. They will reach out to you, they will want to patronize you, to help you. But if you refuse to take the help, they're perfectly alright with that. But then if you challenge the Leo, if you throw a challenge to the Leo, if you somehow challenge their self-importance in any way, their self-worth in any way, then you definitely have an enemy in the Leo. And then there's no going back. Then the Leo is going to go all the way to defeat the enemy, to prove who is the king. So this is a very silent, strong, calm sign, confident of himself, confidence of his own worth, of his own importance, of his own capability. And the slogan of this sign is, I will. They are confident of themselves. They know they have certain targets, they have to achieve certain goals. They are very organized, they have a fixed routine. They want to follow that fixed routine. But if challenged, if you make an enemy of a Leo, they're not going to go out of the way to make an enemy of you. They're not. They are helpful, they are kind, they are very soft-hearted. They are the lion outside, but inside they're very, very soft-hearted. Why? Because the sign of Leo actually represents the heart, the organ itself. And it's a very, very, very soft sign inside. Most people don't know about this. People consider Leo as strong and tough and royal. Yes, it's the 5th sign, so it's an odd sign. And it is a strong sign. That's how they appear outwards. It's a fiery sign. And so yes, they have the ambition, they have the aggression in them. It's ruled by the sun. So yes, they give out light, they shine, and they are the center of whatever circle. So it has all that. But inside, it's a very soft sign. It's a very emotional sign. But believe me, these people will not show their emotions. They will not show you if they're crying. They'd rather just go in the washroom and cry by themselves. So if you have a Leo child, be extra careful about them. These people, these children are very sensitive. You just cannot hurt their ego in any way. Well, physically, Leo will have sharp eyes, almost reddish eyes. I've seen Leo people, generally tend to have very red eyes. I mean, even if it's an allergy of some kinds or whatever, but they do tend to have these bloodshot red eyes. Sometimes it is associated with allergies, like allergies to some greenery or something, but they tend to have a lot of redness in their eyes. But they have beautiful eyes, they have longish hair, they prefer to comb their hair backwards, and with age their hair line tends to recede from here, from the front. The hairline tends to recede. They have this great voice. They have this great voice and great communication, because in the 2nd house we have the zodiac sign of Virgo, the sign of that is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the planet for communication, and Mercury has this very soft speech. So they have the sign of Virgo in the 2nd house, and in the 3rd house, which is the sign of communication, is the house which is ruled by Libra. And we have Venus here, which rules the sign of Libra, which is one of the sweetest planets. So these people, they are great communicators. They talk very well. I mean, if the sun is also well placed, if Venus and Mercury, all the planets are well placed, these guys are great communicators. They are very balanced in their communication. They know how to reach across to people and connect to people. They are, they're great talkers. They would make a great radio jockey. They have that great artistic skill also in them, because this is the natural artistic sign, the sign of Libra, which is in the 3rd house. So they're very artistic also, and this is the natural 5th house. So the 5th house is creativity. So the 5th house and the 7th house, the sign of Leo and the sign of Libra, are now in the 1st and the 3rd houses. So this shows that there's going to be a lot of creativity in the zodiac sign of Leo, especially about their communication. Especially, they can be great dancers, they can be great actors. Because again, this is the 5th house now, which is in the ascendant. So this is creativity, which is in the ascendant, and this is also knowledge and intelligence, which is in the ascendant. So if the sun is well placed, they can have a lot of creative intelligence about them. These guys are natural actors. They have a flair of acting. And for them, you know, in whatever they're doing, they're almost acting all the time. As children, they want to come across as very poised and very graceful. So they're always very observant and keen about their own movements and their own behavior. And they're naturally born actors. Most of them, I mean, if they are very connected to their inner self, if they are very in tune with their inner self, have the feeling that the world is a stage and we are all actors here. So they go about in every situation of life trying to bring out an image. They are very image conscious. Remember, we're talking about royalty here. So they're very image conscious. They want to put their best foot forward. They want to come across as very elegant, graceful people with a very good demeanor, a very good attitude. So these people make great actors. Now it depends on, again, the placement of the sun, on the level of confidence. It depends on how well placed the ascendant is. Because let's suppose the sun is placed in the 7th house, in the sign of Aquarius, then everything, all the qualities of Leo are diminished quite a bit. So it depends again on the placement of the sun. But if the sun is well placed, if I'm just talking about the ascendant here, then these guys would definitely have some creative talent in them, which can take them to great heights. And their creativity also has an intelligence about it, because remember, this is the 5th house, which is both creativity and intelligence. So these guys really can shine a lot. Now, given the right opportunity, unless, let's suppose, they're just sitting in a corner and they just while their lives away, unless they, of course, the sun is afflicted and the ascendant is afflicted, and then they are low in confidence and they do not go out in the front and their talents remain unexplored, then it can be a complete waste of a Leo. Otherwise, if encouraged in the right way, if given the right platform, if given the right opportunity, these guys can shine like anything. So we have some great actors. I remember a few actors who are Leo ascendants. So Shah Rukh Khan is a Leo ascendant, Rajnikant is a Leo ascendant. These are some of the biggest names in India. And then we have Leonardo DiCaprio as a Leo ascendant. So again, these guys have this natural creativity about them, not just acting. It could be creativity in any other field. It could be singing, it could be dancing, it could be writing, because again, the 11th Lord Mercury and the second Lord Mercury is a friend of the Leo. And if Mercury is well placed, these guys can be great writers, great communicators. So there is this natural flair of creativity about the Leo. There is a natural intelligence about the Leo. Because this is a fire sign, so there's a lot of ambition in them. They want to keep moving forward. They want to travel. But remember, it's a fixed sign also. So they don't want to just roam around aimlessly, and they want to go in style. Whatever they do, wherever they go, they want everything to be done in style. Again, now in the 5th house, because the 5th house is of our thinking. Now we have the sign of Sagittarius. So if Leo is in the 1st house, Leo, then we have Virgo, then we have Libra, then we have Scorpio, and in the 5th house we have Sagittarius. So now their thinking is very traditional. They are very traditional in their thinking. They are very philosophical in their thinking. They like to stick to their traditions. They respect their elders. And this fire energy that we have in them, so the first fire sign was Aries. Now Aries is a movable sign, though it's like a crazy mad fire. And Arian has this crazy great energy. It's a great energy. It's an energy of a leader. They just want to move forward. They want to do things without thinking. So you can go back to the video I made on Aries and you will get a hang of what an Aries is like. But a Leo is a fire sign. It's a fixed sign. So this is a more controlled fire. This is a very, very controlled fire, and it's the natural 5th house of intelligence and creativity. So this fire, if properly used, if given the right platform, if given the right opportunity, there is endless potential in these people. They are natural leaders. People are naturally attracted to them. They are great communicators. They have that creativity and knowledge in them. They do not get they don't want to be mixed up in petty things, in petty affairs. They are above all this. They maintain their distance from petty things. It's only when they feel that they need to interfere in a situation. When they're asked to interfere in a situation, then they come, they give their verdict, and they move out of the situation. They don't want to get dirty about anything. They are pure. The fire signs are very pure signs. These people are very, very clear. They are very, very, because even in the 8th house, remember, we have the sign of Pisces. If it's a Leo ascendant, the 8th house is a sign of Pisces. So whatever they do, they will do openly. They will firstly shirk from doing anything wrong. But if they do something, even the wrong things, they would like to do openly. They don't want to hide things and do things. They are very open. They are very traditional in their approach to life. So these are extremely attractive people, very fun-loving people, people you will enjoy being with, because this is the natural 5th house, and the 5th house is about things that we enjoy doing. All your hobbies and talents are seen from the 5th house. So they're naturally fun-loving. But they also like to show off. They are image conscious. They want people to look at them and respect them for who they are. They want to have a good image. They are extremely image conscious. So much so that even in their profession, sometimes they may end up, instead of gaining from the profession, they may end up spending in the profession because of the image. They want to be known even in their profession as somebody who is somebody, as somebody who wears the best of brands, who is very updated in his styles, in his fashion statement or her fashion statement. So they may end up spending more sometimes than they are earning from their profession. About their families, about their speech, they're extremely calculative. About their wealth, about their investments, about the bank balance, they can be very, very, very calculative. With their siblings, they will be very balanced. They will have a very, very sweet communication with them. They will maintain a very stable relationship with people around them. They can be great communicators. They can be great writers. About their homes, they are very possessive. About their mother, their home, they are extremely possessive. Their mother can be a strong, forceful kind of a lady. And if Mars is well placed in the chart, these people can be extremely lucky with property and finances as well. Because remember, Mars is the yoga karak for a Leo ascendant. About their creativity, about their relationship with their children, these people are very philosophical. They want the children to realize the philosophy of life, the higher philosophy, the higher things about life, the higher knowledge. They want the children to be aware of all that. They themselves are very philosophical in their thinking, in their approach to things. Where their daily routine is concerned, where the obstacles in their life are concerned, that is a bit of a struggle for them, because Saturn is the lord of the 6th house of the sign of Capricorn. So there they encounter a lot of struggle, a lot of obstacles in life. They have a tough time competing with their enemies. The enemies are very, very competitive. So that is where Leos face a major issue. Where the relationship is concerned, marriage is concerned, like a Cancer ascendant, a Leo too is never completely satisfied. There is an element of dissatisfaction, because like a Cancerian, Leos are also extremely emotional. And again, we have the sign of Aquarius, the sign ruled by Saturn, in the 7th house. And in the natural zodiac, this is the 11th house. So many a times I've seen whoever marries a Leo will marry for gains. So whoever the Leo's spouse is normally usually gets into the marriage for gains rather than for emotional satisfaction. So that is the sad story for a Leo. Sometimes, not necessarily in every way, but sometimes that can happen. If Jupiter is well placed, these people are very lucky in inheritances. If they study the occult, if they do get into some kind of research work, they do very well. If Mars, let's suppose, is placed in the sign of Aries in the 9th house, these people tend to travel very early in life. They do travel quite a bit, in fact. Then they tend to travel a lot. They are very strong-headed about their philosophy, about their religion. They are very sure about it. There is no confusion. You can't move them. Once they've decided on their philosophy, on whatever religious practices they want to follow, their traditions, they are stuck. Remember, it's a fixed sign. So yes, they are always stuck to their values, their tradition, their culture. Again, in the profession, they want a profession where there's a lot of show. They would do great in the show business. Anything that is related to glamour, because we have Venus now ruling the 10th house. The sign of Taurus falls in the 10th house, and Venus rules their 3rd house. The sign of Libra falls in the 3rd house. So their profession, they will do great if they have anything to do, if their profession has anything to do with the planet Venus, because these guys naturally they are very image conscious. They like to show off, they like to look good, they like people to be impressed by them. And then in the 10th house we have the sign of Taurus, which likes a lot of show, which likes beauty and glamour in every way. So those are the best professions for a Leo ascendant. Where friends are concerned, they have friends from every walk of life, and they change their friends easily. They make new friends and they kind of forget old friends also. But remember, I said people who butter them up quickly become friends with a Leo, because the best way to connect with a Leo is give them a compliment. You made their day and you made them happy. Where spirituality is concerned, where generosity is concerned, these people are very generous. They would generously give away to charity, because the sign of Cancer falls in the 10th house. They would be very generous about their charity, and they would not expect anything out in return. Like a mother, they would want to help anybody and everybody that they could help. The biggest negative that I see in a Leo ascendant is because it is the sign of the sun in the first house. The sun is our ego. Now if the sun is well placed, then these people would have this great sense of capability, this great sense of self-worth, this great sense of self-importance. Then they would have that creative intelligence about them, and given the right platform, these people will shine. But if the sun is badly afflicted, then they would have a lot of fake ego about them. Then they would be spoiled brats. Then it would be like a hollow drum. A lot of show outs on the outside, and inside there will be nothing absolutely. Then they would only be believing in show with no real substance in them. So as long as the Leo is handled well, of course it's important to boost their confidence, to give them confidence, but as long as you keep them focused on the right path and see that they don't go wayward, if you're able to do that with a Leo, then these people can turn out to be extremely confident, extremely great as friends, very supportive, very protective, very confident in their own capability of achievement, and they will go out and they will achieve. But if these people are not taken care of properly, if these people are not handled properly, if they are overly pampered, because yes, as children I've seen, they have this tendency to be totally focused on brands. I want Nike, I want Adidas, I want Reebok. So if they're not handled properly, if they're not given the value of money properly, they're not shown how important it is to have a proper career, to be self-confident, to respect others, if they're not taught all this in time, then they can have this bad ego about them, a fake ego about them, and they can be really hollow and shallow inside. So that's the only real negative about a Leo ascendant. Otherwise, the kind of an energy these people carry around them, the popularity they have, anywhere and everywhere they go, they can go great guns and achieve whatever they want in life. So that is all for a Leo ascendant. We'll be seeing you now in the next video. Bye-bye.